Greetings, I'm Joan Williams, Distinguished Professor of Law, Hastings Foundation Chair, and Founding Director of the Center for Work-Life Law. And this is a briefing on the legal rights of pregnant students, what a professor should know. Here's some all too common stories. In one case, a young woman knew she was going to give birth, and so she asked for the classes to be taped for a few weeks, and the professor and the institution told her that her only option was to withdraw from school, sacrificing the tuition she had paid with no right of reinstatement. Another very, very common thing that happens is a pregnant student tells her principal investigator, the PI of her lab, that she's going to need some time off for childbirth, only to be told, you have to be back here in 2 weeks or else your job is gone. Now, unfortunately, we hear these stories again and again, but in both cases, what the institution and the professor did was illegal. And so this briefing is designed to help you observe the legal mandates by setting them forth in a very simple way. First is Title IX. Now, you've probably heard of Title IX and associate it either with women in sports or with sexual assault, but Title IX also has legal mandates with respect to accommodation of student pregnancy. Title IX, as you know, prohibits sex discrimination in academic programs. That includes discrimination based on pregnancy, childbirth, abortion, related conditions, or recovery from any of the above. So if you're in doubt about students' rights under Title IX, contact the Title IX office. Pregnant students also have significant rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. If a pregnant woman is impaired enough to need an accommodation, typically she'll be covered by the ADA. It's important to follow standard procedures for ADA accommodations, and when in doubt, contact the ADA office at your institution. Okay, what to say if a woman tells you she's pregnant and she's your student? Very simply, congratulations, when are you due? What can I do to make this easy for you? Very simple to say just those simple things and then wait and see what she says. Here's some sample language for your syllabus because, you know, just as many professors don't yet know these rights exist, many students don't yet know these rights exist. Here's some things that we hear that sometimes get said that probably shouldn't get said. Wouldn't it be better if you stayed home with the baby? Now, actually, many Americans still believe this, but it's very important to leave your ideas about the ideal family life at home, because if you bring them into the workplace, that can give rise to legal implications. Often people say, professors say, you know, you need to get back here immediately, or you need to get back here within 2 weeks. Again, as we'll talk about a little bit more, pregnant students have the right to take significant amounts of leave with reinstatement. In another case, a woman was told, you know, you're not taking your degree seriously, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten pregnant. Again, leave your beliefs about how people should sequence work and family. Leave those also for your personal life. So the bottom line is that pregnant students have rights under both Title IX and the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now I'm going to tell you what those rights are. Here are some typical accommodations that pregnant students often need as part of their academic program. Very simple thing, bigger desks. They can't fit in sometimes to the desks that other students are using. Often they need changed assignment deadlines or changed exam dates. Often they need taping of classes or use of a typist or note takers. Why do they need this? It's because carpal tunnel is much, much more common among pregnant women than it is among the general population. And then sometimes people are nauseated, so they need a seat assignment near a door, at the end of a row to facilitate bathroom breaks. Here's some other typical accommodations that pregnant students might need. The ability to sit rather than to stand doing lab work. Sit on a stool, for example. Doctors often do not want pregnant women standing for long periods. Breaks for nursing in order to keep on a nursing schedule to avoid breast infections, which can get very serious very fast. Or breaks for snacking to control nausea, or breaks for additional bathroom use. Distance learning is also important for students on bed rest or during recovery from childbirth. And revised scheduling of meetings and group activities, that's another common accommodation that pregnant students sometimes need. Remember, accommodations are available for exams, labs, field trips, classes. Accommodations are available for any part of the academic program. When it comes to medical information, it's better that you as the professor don't ask for it. If you feel the need for it, send her to the ADA office. They know how to get the information and they will do it in the correct way. If the student gives you medical information voluntarily, remember, and I know you know this, to keep it confidential. How about leaves? Medically necessary absences must be excused regardless of the standard absence policy. So even if a pregnant student would not be entitled to leave under the standard absence policy, she is entitled to leave because she is pregnant. Students may not be penalized for taking leave. And don't assume that a student will be able to complete academic work while she's on leave. When she's on leave, she's on leave. When she returns, develop a plan for how she'll make up that work. Students who return from a leave or an absence must have a reasonable opportunity to make up any missed credit. Some students, they'll want to do this during the same semester and they'll be able to do so. Other students will not be able to do so and will have to make it up after the semester is over. What if the student is your employee? Students have all the same rights that pregnant employees have in the United States. For example, students are entitled to leave typically for 3 months or longer as reasonable. And thereafter, they have the right to reinstatement to that position or a comparable position. Contact HR or the Title IX office to find out whether the leave is unpaid or whether it's paid. But the good news is that funding is often available to cover your costs. Sometimes this is available under NIH grants or other federal grants. Sometimes it's available under university policies. So here's just some examples of professors who did it right. Samantha's on bed rest for the last month of her pregnancy and she'll miss her final exam. Her professor gives her an incomplete for the semester. When she's able, she takes the exam and receives full credit for the course. Here's a second example. Janet needs a class to recover from an abortion. Her professor marks the absence as excused on the attendance log. Very simple. And here's a third example. Chantal must leave her class early to pump breast milk on schedule. Her professor allows her to make up participation credits, for example, by doing an extra post on the class discussion board. So that's it. It's not complex. For more information, explore our site. We have sample language for your syllabus. We have fact sheets, model policies, legal resources. We hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for your attention.